welcome, Bonnie. Thank you for joining us. This is Bonnie Jo Campbell in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We just had a reading upstairs, and it's on a new book that Ron Ricky put together on UP writing.
Yeah,
So
it's
what
really
brought you to the
exciting.
UP writing?
Well, as you know, like so many people in the Lower Peninsula, we look for any opportunity to visit the UP, to write about the UP, to think about the UP. I mean, I think it's such a part of our lives, the Upper Peninsula, even for those of us who don't spend a lot of time there. It's like, it's almost as though it's a place where our imagination lives. And I know that's a little bit unfair because it's a real place where real people live.
But it's still a foreign country.
Yeah, it is a very different state. It is a foreign country, and yet it feels like home, I think, to a lot of us, and we have to be careful because it's not our home. And I think often people in the Upper Peninsula feel a little oppressed by us downstaters just romping up there and treating it like it is our own. So I want to be respectful.
But the thing is, too, is tonight, our reading tonight was very informal. It was very relaxed. Here we are talking about the UP, the people and the characters in the UP. But
one of whom was sitting a couple of whom were very big characters right there with us.
But don't you think that the UP is kind of laid back? The comfort zone?
Yeah, I mean, it does feel as well, I guess maybe it's a less formal place in general. It isn't supported by, well, certainly it's not supported by institutions as much as, you know, with the advantages and disadvantages of that.
But there's some great colleges up there.
Yeah, there really are. There really are great schools in Hancock as well, you know, and MU and Marquette. And of course in Marquette now they have great coffee. This was one complaint that some of us spoiled brats from downstate had when we traveled. My husband and I traveled in the UP, and we didn't, and we're kind of coffee snobs a little bit, and we only got really good coffee in Marquette, but I hear that's changing, so.
Oh, good. Well, they also have an independent bookstore up there, too.
Snowbound Books is such a fun bookstore. It's really great, and they've been working hard and making it work.
Now, you're best known, I think, probably for a lot of your short stories. That's how you really got published initially. But you've written some great novels, too. And you work on poetry, too.
Yep.
You just change it up for experience? Or what do you like doing?
Well, I always try to just write a story, and then the story decides how long it's going to be. And I actually try to write short stories. I sometimes say that my novels are failed short stories. Like, I really, at every point in a story, I'm trying to wrap it up. And
some of your short stories have gone on to become novels.
Yeah, that's right. So the novel Once Upon a River came from a short story that was in American Salvage, and I really, really thought I had a perfect short story because I thought I have the perfect ending. It was the perfect ending. The story's kind of the ending is kind of a revenge ending for a girl who's molested. And I thought, great, I've got the perfect ending. And I even had, it got posted on a few feminist websites saying, perfect story, you know, perfect revenge. And then I woke up in the middle of the night too many times realizing there are no perfect endings. And that ending was just a beginning. And then I realized there was a whole much longer story to tell. So
what's in the works now? These short stories that you wrote in the sequel for the UP writing and here, Ron came to you and asked you to write those, or had they already?
Yeah, those stories, he had come to ask me to write UP stories, and one of the stories had already been written, and another story became, probably because of Ron, because of because I had been thinking about a certain story about these mines. My imagination had been captured by, you know, I think some of us know about the mining situation in the Upper Peninsula, that these old mines are deteriorating, of course. I mean, just they're made of wood that rots, and so sometimes the ground gives way, and it's a very dangerous place to be. And so the thought of, you know, coming up with then a contemporary story that could take place in these mines, and, you know, having spent time up there and spent time with Ron and the other UP writers really inspired me.
Okay.